Damilola, we're here at the Gibbard Gallery. This is your work, your celebration, your installation regarding Harlow at 75 years. Tell me a little bit how you got involved in this project and what your project is about.
Yeah, so I have been interested in new towns kind of since university. I was particularly interested in the stories of people from Hackney and kind of northeast London that moved to Harlow. I remember in year 6, actually quite a load of my friends, when their parents first bought their homes, sort of transitioning from council homes into like their own bought homes, they were moving from kind of Hackney to Essex. So I had that kind of draw to this project for that. Then I teamed up with Catherine Mummery, who runs High Style Projects, actually pitched this idea for Letters with My Grandmother, which was like a project that Catherine and Elaine Trilby were working on, and she mentioned that she thinks it would be better situated to Harlow. So I teamed up with Catherine, the museum, Essex Record Office, who were extremely helpful, and then once I kind of got their support, we went and then put forward an application for the Arts Fund. Yeah.
The people behind you are watching a series of films and videos. So what's going on there?
So that is a 3 sort of channel installation. It's called Pram Revisited is the name of the film, and it's a mix of archive stories, both oral histories and archive footage and images, paired with newly shot material, and it's just quite simple in format of answering the question of what drew you to move into Harlow, what were your first impressions, did your impressions of it or expectations match up to that, and also asking the same questions to people today and seeing kind of like if there are any changes.
What were people's answers to that?
People's answers when they first came was, you know, we stepped into kind of like an empty kind of land, and it was both a mixture of, you know, a kind of loss of sense of home, but equally excited to kind of start a new kind of home in a community of like-minded people where everyone was in the same boat. What carried on for me is love for green spaces when I spoke to the sort of young generation. In a way that I think young people in London don't speak about nature, they were able to kind of articulate just their connection to it, which I thought was really interesting. But also just kind of community, which both young people felt, and equally looking to the 60s kind of archives people spoke to as well. So that theme has like continued through for people.
Sorry, that's right. Yeah. So when you see stats like nearly 20% of the population of Harlow is non-UK born, does that almost show that the transition is changing?
It's changed 100%, because kind of, and I think you see it in the archives when I was looking through it, like I struggled to kind of find black stories, like Asian stories and things like that. Whereas when I come into Harlow today and walk into McDonald's, it's just so colourful. Like there are just so many different cultures. Also the food, it's like European stores, African food shops, and so I really wanted to kind of queer stories as well, which I wasn't specifically looking for, but that kind of came out of interviewing people. And there's someone who's featured in it who moved from Portugal because they had like a financial crisis in 2008, and she was drawn to live in Harlow. So kind of how Harlow looks like if you jumped out of the train station now to what people kind of first had when they first came, I think is completely different. And yeah, I kind of hope that this film kind of shows that.
And finally, when this is over, you know, and this view, etc., here at the Gibbard Gallery, what happens to what you've got there?
Yeah, so actually working with Essex Record Office, so we're going to work to kind of like archive the stories, but also they specifically want to work on archiving film as well, and I think they've got like a long-term plan for that, but it's donating this back to those kind of organisations that really helped me to kind of get this off of the ground. And beyond that, I don't know what's going to happen next. But
well, thank you very much for being interested in our town.
Yeah.
We do appreciate it.
No,
thank you, Damilola.
Thank you.